Revolution Soccer is brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the New England Revolution, by Yellow Book and YellowBook.com. The moment you need it, Yellow Book it. And by Amica Insurance. Learn why Amica customers feel so good about their auto insurance at AmicaConnections.com.
Welcome back from Commerce City, Colorado. The Revolution in Rapids set to do battle here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, just outside of downtown Denver. Rapids down the Revs 2-1 in Foxborough back on April the 24th. Colorado hasn't made the postseason since 2006. The Revs trying to avoid missing the playoffs for the first time under Steve Nicol. They've made it every year under the Gaffer since 2002. And they haven't won here in Colorado since June 15th of 02. The Revs did earn a 1-1 draw here 2 years ago. Not easy in the altitude. 42-year-old Englishman Gary Smith has been the head coach here in Colorado since he took over on an interim basis in 2008. Came out of the Fulham youth system as a player. His playing career mostly in the lower leagues and non-league football, but has close ties to Wycombe Wanderers, where he played and coached, and where he first overlapped with his first assistant, Steve Guppy, who's also been a big part of assembling this Rapids team, which is in the ascendancy. They've won 2 of their last 3. They would be in the playoffs, Jay, if they started tonight.
Well, they sure would, and they've been very good this season, but very good at home.
Connor Casey, 9 goals, 5 assists, and he's been scoring goals in open play after a run where he scored 6 in a row from the penalty spot. Colorado leads the all-time series, and in particular, they lead the all-time series here in Colorado. They're 11 wins to 3 for the Revs. 3 of the last 4 games have ended in draws. And normally a draw will do in Denver, Jay, but not tonight.
Absolutely. Revolution have to get on the board early and get points. They cannot draw this game, Brad. A draw almost puts them in the same position as a loss.
Colorado wearing burgundy with white shorts. Attacks from right to left. The Reds in the road whites. Matt Geiger is the referee. Seth Sinovic gets ahead to it, and then a missed clearance by Emmanuel Osei. Pat Phelan rescued the situation. An early giveaway. Pablo Mastroeni won the ball for the home team. Here's a new man for Colorado, Brian Mullen. Over 250 appearances with LA, San Jose, and Houston. 3 MLS Cups. The ball into the back post, the header over the bar. That was Jamie Smith, 29-year-old Scotsman, with the chance. Well, you don't want to give up an early goal to Colorado. When they score first, 9-0-4, and conceding first, 0-7-3.
Well, there you go. That was right off the bat. Colorado's pressing hard. You saw Brian Mullen just create a little bit of space. He put that ball in the box. Not very good defending to start. Revolution have to wake up if they want to stay in this game. Like you said, that stat is almost impossible to come back against Colorado when they score first.
Yeah, well, going back to 2006, when they give up the first goal, they're 0-50-7, Gary Smith's team. But they're much better record when they score first. So, Jay, we've talked about the altitude. We've talked about the size of the field here. What do the Revs need to do to try to get back on the winning track?
Well, when you get this kind of altitude, you have to stay compact defensively. Make this field as small as you possibly can. And other thing is, you got to keep possession. If you're chasing this game all day, you will not have the lungs to last. And then where they're going to be special tonight, set pieces. Can Marko Perovic make the difference?
Is Omar Cummings on the ball. Kosuke Kimura, the Japanese right fullback, to the feet of Mullen. Just acquired in a trade midweek. 1-2 down the right side. And Sinovic, who is beaten for speed there, has to commit the foul on Cummings. Free kick from a dangerous position for Colorado early in this game.
Right away, Omar Cummings goes out wide. Shows you why he likes to drift out there. He's got such good pace. He's able to get behind guys, and Seth Sinovic has to just pull him down. Gets a warning from Matt Geiger, so that's good to start. He didn't get the yellow, so Seth Sinovic on watch. Next challenge, next foul, he's going to get booked.
2-man wall. Is that Smith over the ball?
Yep. Jamie Smith over the ball, number 20. Dangerous here, though, because Colorado's got some big players in the middle.
Ball in, flick on by Connor Casey.
Well, you can see that's a design play. Osei has to be a little bit closer on Casey Connor there, because Casey Connor is very good. Connor Casey, mixing those up for you. But Connor Casey's so good inside the box. He's got 9 goals, 3 assists, dangerous all the time when he gets free.
Ball through to Marko Perovic. And a corner kick for the Revs. This is what the Revs want to live off here on the road, Jay.
They sure do, and that was excellent effort from Marko Perovic there. He chased that down, able to kick it off the Colorado player to draw the corner kick.
Perovic with the outswinger. Away by Drew Moore. Only as far as Kevin Alston, who lets it drop, takes a shot, and lofts it into the seats. The ball carries a little more here in Denver.
Well, it sure does, but I think anywhere you're going to play, Kevin Alston leaning back a little bit, sent that over by a good 10-15 yards. But good start from Kevin Alston. I like to see him in that position, cleaning up any second ball there. He takes it down. He's thinking shot. That's good from the young player.
We talk about the dimensions of this field here at DSG Park, Jay. It used to be 120 by 80, which is huge. They've narrowed it to 75 yards wide, but it's still a full 120 yards long. They're using the width here with the big switch for Mullen. Now Kimura on the overlap. Mullen goes inside, drives a shot right into the abdomen of Matt Reese, but a good effort.
Very good effort, but Matt Reese up to the challenge. That's great positioning by Matt Reese. But really, Brian Mullen making his mark early in this game. He's been excited to get back here. You saw some of his quotes saying it's his home. You see here, good switch from Colorado. Mullen takes his down. Kimura makes his run around, which gives a little bit of space. Mullen takes it inside, left foot shot. Good position by Matt Reese. But really a good start from Brian Mullen. He's very excited to be back here in Colorado.
Mastroeni on the ball. Honored pregame for setting the club mark for appearances with 180 now in a Colorado Rapids uniform. This is newly acquired Anthony Wallace in his third straight start, coming over from FC Dallas earlier in the season. Interception now by Osei, but he gives it straight back to Smith. Ball in the space. Cummings is into the box. One-on-one with the keeper. He buries it. 1-0 Colorado. Cummings with his 10th of the season, Jay, and that's the worst kind of start from a Revolution perspective.
No, it really is. And sloppy play from Osei just to not get it out when you got a chance to put the thing out of bounds. You see here, good build-up, but there Osei can get rid of that. Instead, he takes a touch, and Jamie Smith is all over it. Great ball behind, and Omar Cummings just opens his hips. Nothing Matt Reese can do here. Look at Jamie Smith. Puts the ball behind. Omar Cummings does everything else. Opens his hip. Doesn't even touch it, Brad. You see the pace of that ball? Never even has to touch it. Just able to open up his hips and beat Matt Reese.
Well, Cummings now with his team leading 10th goal. He and Connor Casey have combined for 19 between the two of them. Last year they combined for 24, but on this pace they can reach that mark still. And Omar Cummings played his college soccer at Cincinnati. He's Jamaican by birth. And there are rumors that foreign teams are interested in Omar Cummings. This will be his last season here. It's one of the reasons why Colorado acquired Makumba Kanji. In addition to Mullen at the roster freeze deadline. Here's Sani Nyasi, who's hardly been involved here in the opening 6 minutes. Perovic. I think that pass is intended for the feet of Ilya Stolica. Good step there by Sinovic.
That was a good read from Sinovic. He's got to keep doing that because can't keep letting Mullen or Omar Cummings get behind him, because difficult to defend when those guys get the ball going at you. Going back to that tray that you mentioned earlier, I still really like this tray for Mullen because it adds some good width for the outside play. Brian Mullen has got some very good experience, won some championships, but just adds a little bit of extra experience that this team may need in a playoff run.
Good idea by Perovic. Couldn't play the dagger ball through to his countryman, Ilya Stolica. Now Casey holding up and playing wide to Cummings, who's gone wide right now. For more information about products and services, visit bankofamerica.com. Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Revolution. Seth Sinovic making his 15th league start as a rookie. Darius Barnes left on the bench for this game. Emmanuel Osei and Gibbs, the central defensive pairing. Osei, who's usually come out strong against Colorado, committing the error on that goal. Comes up, plays tight on Connor Casey, and the Revs win it back. Perovic, his pass offline. And they're doing exactly what Steve Nicol doesn't want them to do. They get possession and they give it away.
Right, and it's going to be a long night if they continue to do that, because they've already chased this game for the first 7 minutes, and they're not going to, if they keep doing it, they're going to have no legs to even last through the second half. Never mind get back into this with an equalizer.
Flick-on header by Joseph. Marvell Wynn now plays former Rev Jeff Larentowicz with Phelan draped all over him. Red v. red. Larentowicz an all-star this year. Really quite a story when you think about him starting off as reserve team captain for the Revs. He was a supplemental draft choice out of Brown, not really expected to make it as a first-team player. Bad giveaway again. Casey, Mullen, the delivery. Osei snaps his header clear, but that was another weak pass out of the back by Emmanuel Osei, who hasn't found his feet here at altitude early.
No, he sure hasn't, and Steve Nichols definitely going to have a word with him. Emmanuel Osei has to be better with the ball. You cannot lose the ball anywhere near your box, especially after you've given one up for a goal already. It's a good look at Osei there. He's got to step up his game here, Brad. This is a one goal is easy. Is a deficit you can overcome, but 2 goals at altitude is going to be very difficult.
Here comes Colorado again. Mullins into the box off the give and go. Drives it across the face of the goal. Smith just a little bit late to try to put that away. Gives a thumbs up, but Mullen, who's from Littleton, Colorado, has to be making his coach Gary Smith happy in the early going here.
Well, he sure is. This is a little 1-2, and this is just Brian Mullen at his best. Casey lays it off, and there goes Mullen down the line. And look at him drive it across. If someone gets on the end of that, it's a goal. But Brian Mullen did everything right there. Never stopped moving, does a 1-2, and gets behind.
When you used to play against Mullen, you guys went head-to-head. It often looked like the sort of WWE middleweight championship, the way you got 2 guys who really got after it. Mullen, a lot of people think he's from Long Island, but he actually moved to Colorado when he was 4. So after playing in California and Texas, he's happy to be home. Joseph and Mastroeni, that battle will be going on all night. So we're past the 10-minute mark. The Revs have trailed since the 5-minute mark. The assist on the goal to Smith, his 4th of the year.
Stolitz handled that one there, says Matt Geiger. Ball kind of popped up on him, so he's going to argue that a little bit. But good start, though. Stolitz has to keep continuing doing that. Get a little bit of space, hold the ball up so the Revolution can get up the field and support him.
The Revs 1-9-1 on the road coming into this game. Contrast that with Colorado, who are 6-1-4 here at DSG Park. And the Revs already trail by a goal. Stolitz goes up and loses that aerial duel to Drew Moore, the former FC Dallas man. Here's Sinovic. Perovic popped on him. He's trying to play Tierney wide, and Colorado takes over again.
I like that ball from Seth Sinovic. On the ground, good pace to Marko Perovic. Marko Perovic is usually better with it, but if he keeps getting those balls to him, Marko Perovic will do something with it.
See Sinovic, composed player out there. Maybe not as athletic and dynamic as some of the other Revolution defenders. He's made a good impression in his first season.
No, he sure has, and has a lot of family and friends here tonight, Brad. He has used 26 tickets to get family in. He has Bob Warming and the Penn State soccer team is here as well. Bob Warming coached him at Creighton, so he's in the attendance tonight. Seth Sinovic said to give a shout out to him.
Gibbs, a former Colorado Rapid, clears it over. Casey allowed to turn. Gets a step on Tierney, who gets back goal side, and it's over for a corner kick. It's a Rapids first, but he's a handful, big Connor Casey.
Oh, he sure is.
Bull of a man.
He's a bull of a man. He likes to battle. He's not going to give you anything, but he's also got that soft feet, so when the ball's played to him, like that 1-2 with Mullen, he's able to see the play as it's developing, be a step ahead of most players.
Smith over to take, former Celtic man, serves an outswinger in, header away by Gibbs. Some scores from around MLS earlier today. Seattle now up 4-0. Blaise Kufo with a hat trick. So took the Switzerland International a little while to settle. And Brian Ching has the go-ahead goal for Houston, which from a Revolution perspective, I don't know how you look at that. I think they want every potential playoff team to draw to a certain extent, but Houston in last place in the West, and Toronto in third in the East, but out of the playoff picture as of right now. And they removed their coach and general manager earlier this week.
Yeah, big news out of Colorado. Gary Smith's done a nice job of solidifying his back line as well, Brad. He's made some moves, brought in Drew Moore, just brought in Wallace as well, along with Marvell Wynn. Good back line that they have, and they defend hard, they defend well. So that's all Gary Smith under his tenure here, and it's a good job of bringing in his guys to solidify a back line.
Steve Nicol is really livid. He's having a word with Matt Geiger and Steve Miles too, and they're being told to sit down by the fourth official, Mark Kladlitsik, but they're not sitting down. What got Steve Nicol so mad there?
Well, I didn't really see it, but he's definitely having let Matt Geiger have a word. Not sure exactly why, because there was something away from the ball, away from camera, so we couldn't see it.
Stolica went down there, thought he was fouled. This is Mullen on the left side, spun forward by Wallace. It's not a happy group on the Revolution bench right now. And you can see Stolica jostling for position. Here's Nyasi. Oh, he took a hard bump there from Mullen. And the Revs wanted a foul there. And Nyasi and Mullen are starting to jostle. And when Mullen was in Houston, he always tried to step on Sandy Nyasi.
Sure, no, Brian Mullen's not. That's why they switched him over. It looks like he's come on to the left, Jamie Smith to the right. And that's really, they're up 1-0. Maybe they can limit Nyasi getting any chances. Nyasi hasn't had the ball yet. That was really his first touch in the game. Nyasi has to get back, get forward, help his team out, because right now they need that offensive outburst from somebody.
Shalry Joseph goes up for the header. Here's Nyasi. Step over. Well defended that time by Smith. In addition to playing for Celtic 42 times in the Scottish Premier League, from 97 to 2004. Smith also played for Livingston and Aberdeen. Has 2 caps for the Scottish national team. And he had a knee injury last year. He had some hamstring issues earlier in the season. He's just starting to find his rhythm in MLS, Jamie Smith. Nice layoff by Stolica, but Alston can't get there before Cummings drops deep to win it and just curl it long. Osei against Casey, who wins it. Now he's going to run at the defense. Slices it in for Laurentowicz, but Reese is off his line.
That's good from Matt Reese. Read that well. Corey Gibbs did just enough. And Connor Casey just having his way right now with Osei. He had the steal on the goal, and that time he really let Osei just play it. Waited for Osei to make a mistake and just took it from him. Jeff Laurentowicz almost was on the end of it.
End to end by Reese again. Maybe feeling the effects of the altitude. Jay, nobody wants to hear the altitude used as an excuse. At the same time, you look at Real Salt Lake, 9-0-3 at home this year. They just set a record earlier today for an unbeaten streak at home in the league with 23. And then Colorado here, 6-1-4 in the altitude. Is that the only factor? And what makes it so tough when you're a visiting player?
Well, it's not just the only, I mean, obviously it's not just the one factor. It's the team plays well at home, but you start to gain confidence. It's really a mental game as well. So if you're going to go play in Colorado or in Salt Lake, you know they're good teams, but then when the altitude adds to it, it just makes it that much more difficult. And the altitude really takes effect in the first couple minutes. You feel your lungs start to fill up a little bit. Feels like you can't get your breath. But as the game goes on, the altitude, you start to get a little bit used to it, and you can play a little bit better. But really, it's a mental thing, and if you're playing against a good team, it makes it that much more difficult.
That throw-in didn't even get through to Perovic. Good interception by Laurentowicz. Mastroeni for Casey, who gets taken down by Gibbs.
Good awareness from Connor Casey. Felt Corey Gibbs, went the other way. Corey Gibbs had to foul him.
talked to Corey Gibbs at halftime as he returns to play against one of his former teams in MLS. This is Wallace. Gets caught in possession. The whistle goes against Nyasi. And again, Steve Nicol displeased with the refereeing.
Well, rightfully so on that one. Steve Nicol giving Matt Geiger an earful again, because really it was Nyasi and Perovic pressured Wallace. Wallace fell, and then they got called for the foul. So when you're Steve Nicol and it's right in front of you, you have a good view of that. He didn't like it.
Wallace, his delivery headed wide by Sinovic.
Well, the buzz is they like Wallace here, Brad. He's able to get up and down the left flank. You saw a ball in right there, but his defense has been excellent. He hasn't really allowed too much down his side, and that's what he does well. He's got the speed, but if he can get forward, it's an added addition.
We saw limited action with FC Dallas. He always got a chance and then fell out of favor. Former US U20 international, but he may have found a home here. Danny Earls, the Irishman, was the left back earlier in the season, but he's been consigned to the bench. Smith plays it centrally, taken over by Chris Tierney, who, like his counterpart on the other wing, has hardly seen the ball in the opening 20 minutes here. Free kick to the Revolution now on their defensive half of the field. Let's get a quick word with the head man down on the bench, who I know hasn't been happy so far. Coach Nicol, what are you saying?
Well, unfortunately, I'm seeing we're making mistakes and putting ourselves under pressure. That's all that's happened so far in the game.
Steve, talk quickly about the goal. Just seemed like he didn't clear it.
Exactly. Kick it into touch. I've never seen anybody scoring for Rose head up there. Just kick the ball into touch. You're under pressure. Let it go. One bad decision and we end up one behind.
Thanks, Coach.
Cheers.
Well, he's frustrated. You can tell, because you can continue to tell the guys you got to play smart, you got to play quickly, you got to keep possession. But if you don't do it and you give up mistakes, you get penalized.
Potentially trouble here, but Mullen overhit his angled ball, intended for Cummings, who's finding the soft spots in the defense.
Oh, Cummings has always done that, but tonight he seems to be finding a lot of space. He can drift wide, he can go to the middle, and he's working well with Brian Mullen. I think Brian Mullen, to this attack, he's able to get forward, and in a 4-4-2 system, Brian Mullen doesn't have too much responsibility defensively, so he can focus on the attack, and so far he's done that.
Get your morning off to a fresh start with a freshly brewed cup of America's favorite coffee, Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Colorado lost 3-1 away to New York in their last league game, but before that they won back-to-back matches here in Commerce City over Houston and Chivas USA. You can see Nyasi trying to inject some energy, Jay, and we saw that last week when he came on as a sub against Chivas USA in Los Angeles. The subs really were Kano Smith, Kenny Mansali, Nyasi were the only sparks of life that we saw until really in the second half.
No, you're absolutely right. And I like that from Nyasi. He can see Wallace is good getting forward, but he's not really strong on the ball. So if he takes 1 or 2 extra touches, Nyasi has to pounce. And he's done it once, he's done it twice. If he continues to do that, he's going to get a steal.
Casey wide. Kimura miscontrolled it. Pretty reliable, though, Kimura. This is his 4th season in Colorado. He split time with Marvell Wynn out there at the right back position. Layoff by Stolitz now. So Revs have possession. Joseph plays it safe for Osei. Now Alston. Phelan. Joseph. This is the longest sequence of passes the Revs have strung together so far. Tierney now. Phelan under pressure. He lost it. Casey cuts it back. Patient, waiting for support. To the feet of Cummings. Gibbs all over him. Good ball into space. Casey drives it off the post. Had the keeper beat. Now Cummings gets taken down by Gibbs. And it'll be a free kick from straightaway center. Nearly 2-0.
Did you see the paces from Connor Casey there? He held that ball up, got himself in a good position. Omar Cummings was able to find a little bit of space like we've talked about. Here it is. Look at this ball in. Connor Casey hits the post. Matt Reese almost had it, but this goes right back to the top of the box. And Corey Gibbs had to foul there because Omar Cummings was on the end of it. Free kick here now in a very dangerous spot.
Those two really look comfortable playing together.
They sure do.
Casey and Cummings. 19 goals combined so far this season. An opportunity here. Jamie Smith. And we know that Jeff Laurentowicz has a cannon. 6-man wall just beyond the penalty spot for Matt Reese and the Revs. Laurentowicz would love to get one against his former team. Dummies at Smith. Ooh, that curl just wide.
Good effort from Jamie Smith. Jeff Laurentowicz, because you know he's going to if he gets it, he's going to put a powerful shot on you. So the wall looked like they flinched, and then Jamie Smith comes and runs around, almost gets a free kick over the wall. But Revolution have to be smarter. They cannot allow giveaways. That was Pat Phelan before that led to that whole thing. 2 giveaways, and there were almost 2 goals. Revolution have to tighten that up.
Joseph's flick on didn't find Stolica. There's 2 goals in 7 games so far. He and Perovic have combined for over 41% of the Revs' goal-scoring output, the 2 Serbs. Cummings holding up well. Kimura now. Laurentowicz trying to thread the needle for Mullen. Gibbs just plays it over the sideline. Do you think he's more comfortable as a center back or a left back, Corey Gibbs, Jay?
I think he's more central better. I think he can read the game from there. He's a smart player. I think when he gets outside, he just playing out of the back. I think that's where the weakness is. He's not finding the forwards, or he's not finding the outside midfielder. So you put him in the center of the back, and then he can challenge hard, and he can be more of a vocal leader there.
Here's Wallace back to Drew Moore. Julian Baudet is out injured with a hamstring. That's why Wynn is playing in that center back role. Moore pretty much an ever present. Wallace for Smith. With flights to 250 cities and 40 countries around the world, American Airlines knows why you fly. Good defending that time by Osei on Casey. Now here's Nyasi. Oh, he got by Wallace, but he left the ball behind. And he takes down Anthony Wallace. Geiger wouldn't allow the quick restart. Now Phelan stands on it. 26th minute, 1-0 Colorado. They've led since the 5-minute mark. Omar Cummings from Jamie Smith, the goal-scoring combination for the Rapids. Mastroeni, not his best ball. You played with Mastroeni in Miami back when he had dreadlocks and was a little wilder, freer spirit, but he's had quite a career, getting honored again pregame here, and he's going to go down as one of the greats in the history of this league.
And he should. I talk about my Miami days. One day it just seemed like there's a bad collision on the ground, really bad.
Phelan's down.
2 heads hit.
Mastroeni.
You can hear it from up here.
Yeah, and Phelan has the headgear and everything, and that's not a good sign that he. Wow, you saw the way Sean Kupiak, the head athletic trainer for the Revolution, got out there quickly. It's good to see Mastroeni up, but Pat Phelan's still down.
Well, here you can see it's just head-to-head, boom. Pat Phelan just comes down. Aye, that hurts.
And we had him on at halftime asking why he wore the headgear. He said precisely to protect against instances like this.
Right, and it was just a tough collision. There's not much headgear is going to do there when you go head-to-head.
Well, they say it's not just the impact on the cranium, Jay. You know, the snap of the neck, and it's not getting more graphic than that,
no.
but it's not good.
Well, Pat Phelan's fearless, and I think that he's able to go up, he's able to challenge, he's always in the heart of the game, he's always fighting for everything, but anything in the air, he goes for, and I think
yeah, good to see him up and walking it off.
Really is.
Yeah, and he looks present as well, which is key. Phelan, like Chris Tierney, a New England born and raised product, Enfield, Connecticut, played his prep school soccer both in Connecticut and Massachusetts, and starred at Wake Forest. Good to see both Mastroeni and Phelan getting up from that collision under their own power.
Well, going back, we were talking about Pablo Mastroeni, but real quick to Pat Phelan on the headgear. I wonder if he's not wearing that, if it's a worse outcome.
That's a good point. The full 90 headgear, and he's sprinting back out there with no apparent wobble in his gait. So back to open play here, moving into the 29th minute. And just a lull in the game, which may suit the Revs because the Rapids are really getting after it. in the early going. Some pressure from Tierney.
Better. You want to see the outside midfielders put a little bit more pressure on the Colorado back four because they're too easy. When you get Kimura with the ball and you get Wallace with the ball, you might be able to get a steal from them if they take one or too many touches. Get Tierney up, get Nyasi up, put them under pressure.
Joseph working well to keep the ball for the Revs. Phelan, his first touch since coming back on the field. Situation rescued by Gibbs. Alston back to Phelan in the center circle. He stabs it forward for Stolica and finds him. Ilya Stolica couldn't get by the sliding tackle of Marvell Wynn. Now Smith with Alston up in his shirt. Mullen takes it down. Laurentowicz. You can see Colorado just content to make the Revs chase here in the thin Rocky Mountain air. Cummings. Mullen again on the right side. Sliding in hard. There is Gibbs. Mullen. Cummings is onside. Edge of the box. His delivery. Attacking the ball is Alston, but his clearance goes only as far as Mastroeni, who cuts it, drives it. It skips off of a Revolution player for a corner kick. That might have had eyes for the target. Mastroeni, as you noted in the open, scored a long-range blast against the Revs last time they played.
Pablo has 2 goals, 2 assists, and if there's ever been a hole against Pablo, it's been his scoring ability. He doesn't have many goals. I think he has 6 for a career, but Pablo definitely feels good against the Revolution this year. He's got that banger early this season. It looked like he was going for another one.
And you can see the Colorado 9 of their 24 goals from dead balls. 4 of those are penalty kicks. Good clearance there by Tierney, snapping it wide. The Revs haven't had a penalty called in their favor this year. The only team in MLS, by the way, who haven't had a penalty call. Kansas City did have one that they missed, I believe, but some teams have had as many as 6. Now you create your own opportunities again. It's not an indictment of the refereeing. But the Revolution would say that the Revs have had a few opportunities where they could have gotten penalties.
Well, I agree with that. I think that there were 1 or 2, well, maybe more than that, maybe 2 or 3 handballs. Not really fouls, but a couple of balls popped up, caught defenders with their hand, but the referee definitely could have gone.
Yeah, there's one in this Seattle game. There was that borderline tackle on a Marko Perovic, but you know what? It hasn't been an issue here tonight, and the Revs need to make their own breaks. That's the bottom line, and they haven't done enough of it this season so far.
Right, absolutely. See Pat Phelan going again, fearless. Same exact ball, goes up, he has no problem with trying to win the ball.
He's a professional, and as we've seen, he's a very articulate, thoughtful guy, but he switches it into a different mode when he goes out there. He is tough as can be, going head-to-head with his former teammate, Jeff Laurentowicz, who's also a tough hombre. Those are the guys who end up playing in the middle, the likes of Joseph Mastroeni, Phelan, Laurentowicz. And it's not easy up here at altitude, and we heard about that subject from Matt Reese before the game.
No, as to it, you're going to lose your breath a lot sooner, and you know, as soon as your lungs go, your brain goes. So we really have to be smart and take care of the ball, and hopefully we'll make them chase it.
Interesting. Lungs go, then the brain goes. That would explain some of the things that have been happening to me here, Jay. But oh, how do you explain that? Alston trying to find Osei, instead finds the signage boards for a corner kick. That's not the altitude.
Well, that's the brain going maybe a little bit, but still it has to be better there for the back four. Alston, Osei. Alston has to be thinking that if he's going to play Osei there, put the right pace on it, but if you're not, you got to just clear it. Steve Nicol wants that ball anywhere up the field. You don't have to keep it there in your defensive half.
Delivery from Smith. Ooh, just missing on the volley. It was Omar Cummings as that corner kick curls all the way over for a goal kick on the far side, but that could have been a good chance if Cummings had gotten his feet right.
Well, that was a good ball in, and look at Cummings. Matt Reese just got a little touch on it, looked like, threw Omar Cummings off a little bit, but Omar went hand-to-head on that one, thinking he should have had another goal.
Over the head of Kimura. More there to clear it for Colorado. The 33rd minute now. Colorado still with the 1-goal advantage. Mullen forward, cut out by Gibbs. Sinovic finds Stolica, now Phelan. Wide for Nyasi. That sets up a foot race between two speedsters, but The outcome obviated by the ball going out of play. Who do you think's faster, Nyasi or Wallace?
Well, that'd be a fun race to watch, but I'd like to see Nyasi. I think Nyasi with the ball is faster, so that was a good build-up and a good switch, but just has to stay in bounds, and then Nyasi can actually go at Wallace, is something we want to see tonight.
Gibbs tenaciously defending on Cummings. Mullen, Kimura overlapping. Casey making the run in the center channel. Sinovic there to break up the play and clear. Wynn started his career in 2006 with New York. Spent a couple seasons with Toronto. Forward by Wallace. Flick on by Cummings all the way through to Mullen. Two Creighton guys coming together there. Sinovic wins that duel.
Much better from Sinovic. Defending, excuse me, not much better. He's been playing very well all night. He's actually played out of the back. It's been a good position for him because Revolution need to keep the ball, and Sinovic very calm on it. And from there, he's done, when I meant done well, it's well, win it and then get forward and help the attack.
Given away by Alston. This is Smith. Mastroeni playing an advanced position in front of Laurentowicz, the center of midfield. Smith. Cummings for Casey. He's in. Left-footed shot. 2-0. Colorado. Each of their strikers now has a goal, Jay. We talked about it in the open. 10 goals apiece, and they're playing winning soccer right now, the Colorado Rapids.
Well, two forwards are playing clinical balls into each other. Connor Casey held this up, and then he makes a run off. Omar Cummings slots it behind, and then Connor Casey just goes near post, deflects off Matt Reese. Not much he can do, but look at this run. Matt, he never stops running, Connor Casey. Sees the opening and just goes near post on Matt Reese.
Who is tracking him? Was that supposed to be Osei?
Oh, it's supposed to be Osei. You got to stay with the runner there. That's what Connor wanted. Connor Casey steps up, lays it off, and spins and goes, and is able to get behind.
Almost never second guess Steve Nicol. The guy's, one as a coach and a player. Do you think that Darius Barnes is sitting on the bench right now thinking, why am I not out there? And here comes Cummings again. One-on-one with Osei. This time, the Ghanaian defender defends well and clears.
Well, going back to your point, I think I have to agree with you, Brett. I think Darius Barnes adds a little bit more headiness to the game, can sense the game a little bit better, doesn't make as many mistakes. Osei, when he's on, excellent defender, but when he makes those mistakes, doesn't stay with his runner, doesn't keep the ball, get clear it.
And his communication an issue with Osei. He speaks English, but not much of a talker.
No, absolutely not. And that also, when he's in the center back position, also hurts guys around.
Corner kick for Colorado. They're fourth of the half. Very much on the front foot with the goal. Connor Casey has just tied Colorado Rapids technical director and former player Paul Bravo for the most goals in club history, 39. Paul Bravo said that now that they've made the player acquisitions from earlier in the week, Mullen and Kanji, that they should expect to compete for an MLS Cup. Those are big words. Here's Wallace getting around Sinovic, squaring it. Still loose in the goal mouth. Wallace goes down. And playing the ball on the ground will be a free kick for the Revs. Learn why Amica customers feel so good about their auto insurance. The bond is real, and the stories are at AmicaConnections.com. And it looks like Darius Barnes is up and warming up. Is that the light of fire, or is that the emergency call to the bullpen?
I think it's the latter. It's the emergency call to the bullpen maybe here. It's tough to make a sub in the first half, but I think at halftime you will see Corey Gibbs slide, or actually stay in his position, and Osei come out.
On for Cummings again, over the head of Sinovic. Cummings loves running at defenders from these wide positions. He'll take on Sinovic, cut to the inside, left-footed drive, saved by Reese.
Omar Cummings is just having his way out wide. When he drifts wide, able to get the ball, there's not much you can do to defend that. Because he's so quick, he's got a lot of space on his side. He can just drive at the back player, have a shot almost anytime he gets free.
Second ball drops for the Revs. Alston To the inside, squares it for Joseph. Joseph, more than any other Rev, is trying to make the safe pass and keep the ball. The Revolution continue to give it away like they did there. More hustle play from Mullen. Tierney trying to get stuck in, but the ball's moving too quick. Mastroeni, Moore now win. Novik plays Shari Joseph, who you know is just seething out there right now, Jay.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, most players are right now. They just can't get things flowing. Make a couple mistakes, and you're down 2-0. There was a flow there where the Revolution were getting back into it, starting to feel the game out a little bit. You don't stay with a runner. Ose's got to stay with Connor Casey there. Doesn't, and Connor Casey makes him pay.
Ose and Phelan dig it out. Joseph off of Cummings. Now Gibbs going forward. How big would a goal be for the Revs if they could score before halftime to get back in it? Nyasi all the way through the box and overhit. Tierney wouldn't be able to control that. Nyasi 2 goals and 2 assists on the season. Leads the team in minutes played. He's gone over the 1,800 minutes mark as of 11 minutes ago. Also leads team in starts with 22. And we see flashes of brilliance from Sani Nyasi. He's scoring goals at the international level, still just 21 years of age. Terrific upside. They could use one of those standout performances here tonight. They trail by 2, still in the first half. They lose the ball again. Back to the goalkeeper, Matt Pickens, who has not been a very busy guy so far.
No, he hasn't, but Matt Pickens, great in goal this year for Colorado. Doesn't make many mistakes. Okay with his feet. Always makes the easy save and keeps his team in it.
Delivery from Cummings. Played by Sinovic. Tierney. Now Phelan for the Revs. Shari Joseph, the team captain, advancing. Again, looking for the possession pass. Finds Tierney. Back to Joseph. Little toe poke curl for Perovic. Heavy challenge from Phelan. This is Alston for the Revs. Again, trying to just hold on to the ball. Forward by Ose. Drops into that sort of no man's land, but it bounces long for Matt Pickens. The Revs are looking for 2011 Central midfielders. Great new midfield season tickets are now on sale. That will bring you closer to the action than ever before. 2011 season tickets start at $216, so get yours today. Call 1-877-GET-REVS or log on to 2011midfielders.com. Shari Joseph plays it wide. Tierney trying to free himself for the cross. Kimura defending well, but Joseph picks it up. Now Phelan. Back to Ose. Plays it into a space where there's not a Revolution player waiting, and Steve Nicol again is up off his bench howling at Ose. He wanted him to go wide the other direction.
Well, that's exactly what Steve Nicol, you see there, the frustration from the coach. Ose just got himself under pressure again, took one or too many touches, and when he put his head up, no one was where he was looking.
Collision there. Alston and Casey. Colorado in no particular rush right now. Geiger's giving a word to Alston there. It seemed like both players got involved. Good win by Nyasi. Here's Perovic, who's not seen enough of the ball for the Revs' liking. Joseph lost it momentarily, gets it back. Nyasi, good touch. Into space, but Perovic wasn't making the run.
Well, Perovic had made the run early. Took Nyasi one or two more touches to get around Wallace, so Perovic was in the offside position too late, and that's what the exchange was there with Nyasi. Just if Nyasi can get up there a little bit quicker, Perovic is in a good position. He's not offside.
Coming up at halftime on the Ace Ticket Halftime Report, we will talk to Revolution Central defender Corey Gibbs. We'll have first half highlights, most of them Rapids highlights, stats, and then we'll have Jay's tactical breakdown feature, the Amica Inside the Box segment. Stick around for the Ace Ticket Halftime Report. Revs looking for a goal to pull themselves back into this game. It's mathematically not a must-win, but if they don't get 3 points here tonight, you know, if you look at where the Revs are, in 2002, Jay, you played that season for the Revs. The Revs were 7-14-1 on 22 points at this point in the season. The Revs currently 7-13-1 13-3 with 24. The Revs would probably have to do something like what you went 5-0-1. If the Revs went 5-1-1, they'd be on the bubble. If they went 6-0-1, they'd probably get in 6-1, still on the bubble. Here's Perovic trying to slip it for Stolica, goes wide instead to Tierney. He centers it, cut out well by Wynn. Tierney couldn't get there before Laurentowicz.
Well, the guy's actually been asking me, what it was like in 02? How'd you get back into an 02?
Casey giving chase, but Reese is there to clear.
And it was just one of those times where we were going one game at a time. We had a lot of games on the road. We were able to get points on the road. I remember the whole thing turned around in Chicago. We just seemed to click that night. Everything kind of flowed. But it was really, we weren't winning the game, we were losing, but we just came back in that game, similar to like tonight, getting our butts beat, but we stayed with it, fought hard in the second half, and went on a run after that. So it's doable, but the Revs have to clean things up. They can't be making mistakes by kicking the ball out of bounds. They have to get back on the same page. They have to believe in the fact that if they stay compact, they listen to what their coach says and keep the ball, they're going to have an opportunity. But if they don't start listening to Steve Nicol, it's not going to get done.
Well, they're 9 points behind Seattle coming into the night. Now they're 12 points behind Seattle, 10 points behind Colorado. And only 3 of the last 7 Revs games, including this one, will be at home. They play at home on the 25th of September, then the 2nd and 16th of October. Maybe 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half. Colorado just as content to see it out. You see Steve Nicol, Steve Miles stoically looking on now after really spending a lot of energy barking. The referee trying to get things started here. Pickens isn't taking the goal kick.
They picked something up there. Drew Moorhead to take it. That's not a good sign when your keeper doesn't take it. Usually means he may have an injury, a hamstring pull, or a quad.
Joseph now, the Revs with time for maybe one more build-up, but Mastroeni squeezes it out. And now it's over, but it will be a Revs throw-in. Sinovic back to Tierney, time to put in a cross. He does so. Joseph is there, a little flick. Header by Wallace not clear. Nyasi takes it down. Still going, but he had his path blocked by Anthony Wallace. You can see the body language, frustration from Sani Nyasi.
Well, he thought he was by him, but Pablo Mastroeni had slid into a more defensive position there. Ball bounced, and Mastroeni cleared it away.
Long throw-in doesn't get past Laurentowicz. Into touch by Smith. The Revs need to hurry. Final seconds of the first half here. Long throw again. Phelan. Well, that'll be it. The first half comes to an end. Jay, the Revs in a big hole. It's not insurmountable what they're up against, but it's a tough ask.
Well, that's a good look at Connor Casey. They are against a tough task because Connor Casey and Omar Cummings are splitting the back four and have two goals between each other. They're just absolutely all over the back four. Have to switch things up to get a second half chance.
Goals by Connor Casey and Omar Cummings have given the Colorado Rapids a 2-0 lead. The Revs in a must-win situation. We'll be back with first half highlights and more after this. Welcome back from just outside of Denver, Colorado. We're at DSG Park, the Revolution, with a big mountain to climb here in the foothills of the Rockies. Down 2-0 to the Colorado Rapids. Time now for our Inside the Box feature, which is brought to you by Amica Insurance. Learn why Amica customers feel so good about their auto insurance. The bond is real, and the stories are at AmicaConnections.com. The Revs, Jay, struggling to keep up with Omar Cummings.
We sure are, and this is what Omar Cummings does so well. He's able to get outside wide, get behind the back four, and he did it all night long. The one dimension he's added to his game is his hold-up play. You see Omar all night long so far has held the ball up for his team. He still has the pace to get behind, put balls in the box, create some offense, but the one thing about his game that's getting so much better is his hold-up play. Here's a good look at it against Corey Gibbs. He fights him off, finds some space, and frees up the outside midfielder. Last chance here. Osei is able to make a play, but it's been Omar Cummings' night so far.
There you see the old Colorado Rapids logo. They've rebranded a couple times already. Remember they were green in the early years of their history. Then they went to that blue and black Inter Milan motif. And now, since moving to DSG Park, they've gone to the burgundy. And they've built a team here that's very, very competitive and has a good shot to make the playoffs for the first time in 4 seasons. Jeff Laurentowicz coming over for the Revs in that big trade that brought the Revs Preston Burpo and Corey Gibbs. Burpo, of course, with that terrible leg break. Omar Cummings may be playing his last few games here in Denver. We don't know. There are no deals for him, but he's making a very good impression on anybody who's watching. He scored a great goal against New York in that 3-1 loss, and he scored now in 4 of his last 5 games, Cummings.
What's amazing about Omar Cummings is he's getting better and better, Brad. Each year you see him get a little bit more aware on the ball, but his pace, lightning quick, and if he continues to get better, if you can see a pro player get better exponentially each season, sky's the limit for that player.
Let's take a look around MLS earlier today. As we talked about in the first half, Real Salt Lake setting the all-time MLS mark for a home unbeaten streak in the league, 23 in a row. Saborio with the penalty kick goal. Chicago had a man sent off, Wilman Conde. Salt Lake neck and neck with LA for the Western Conference lead. Seattle, the thumping of Eastern Conference leaders. Columbus, Blaise Kufo with the hat trick. And it's 1-1 now between Toronto and Houston. And former Houston Dynamo man, Dwayne De Rosario with the equalizer there. So we'll keep an eye on things for you. The Revs attacking from right to left. They'll kick off in their road whites. And are you surprised to see Emmanuel Osei out there, Jay? I think we both thought that Darius Barnes was going to come on. No subs for the Revs.
Well, I think I'm a little bit surprised just because Osei just didn't do anything in that first half well. But at the same time, do you want to make a defensive sub at half? That's a tough call if you're a coach. So maybe he keeps the same team out there, maybe uses all 3 of his subs for attacking options.
Back to Matt Pickens, played for the Chicago Fire and also had a spell with QPR, Queen's Park Rangers in England, although he did not play very much there. Here's Joseph. Perovic. Perovic wide for Nyasi. Into the box. Lays it off. Alston with the drive. Curls it wide. Alston did score. And the Superliga final is yet to score an MLS competition. That was a good opportunity there. Nice layoff.
There was. That was Nyasi creating a little bit of space. Alston, one-time ball. Hits it well, but a little bit too far of a hook on it, and it goes wide left. But that's what the Revs have to do. Get the ball down the flank to Nyasi, have Alston overlap, be proactive in their attack. If guys have to push forward to help out the forwards, then it has to be done. And get guys going in the attack.
Sinovic for Perovic. Phelan now Osei. Perovic, good take on the half turn here, driving forward, closed down by Laurentowicz, and that was enough to put off Perovic as he tried to make a play. Laurentowicz good at closing down space.
Always. Jeff Laurentowicz made a career out of it so far. In this game, he has done it well. Anytime there's been a free ball or a guy that's going to look like he's going to have a shot on goal, Laurentowicz is near.
Perovic again now for Stolica. Lost it there. We've seen clean first touches from Stolica under pressure. That time he lost the ball. Here's Osei against Casey. And it will be Colorado's ball. Osei, who's had success against Casey in the past, losing that battle tonight. Casey cuts it on Alston. Into the box driving. In the end, he earns a corner kick. Alston quick enough to get back between Connor Casey and the goal, but he's a savvy veteran at this point, an experienced international player too.
No, he sure is. You saw that in the Confederations Cup. He's a guy that, Bob Bradley's had in camps a lot, but he's getting better too. Like Omar Cummings, these players each year seem to get a little bit more offensive flair, a little bit more to their game.
In swinging corner kick, hit away by Tierney, who races out for it, but Kimura will be there first. Kimura played his college soccer at Western Illinois. Here's Reese, who came in with a 1.60, I should say, goals against average. Again, you can see Joseph occasionally tries to play the killer ball, but more than anybody out there, he's trying to just let the Revs establish the tempo and keep the ball, but some of his teammates not cooperating. Again, it's given straight back to the guys in the burgundy shirts. Knotted down by Cummings. a wrestling match with Joseph, who then gets side to the ground by Mullen. Then a shoulder charge. Finally, the foul is called. Shawry just wants to get on with it.
Well, he sure does. And it's been a good start to the second half. The Revolution have come out 3 minutes in this, and they've shown that they're going to be they're going to be back in this game. If they keep doing what they're doing, they could get a goal here to put some pressure on Colorado.
Stolica knocked it down. Tierney picks up the second ball. Little heel flick, finds Perovic, but it's too long, and Mastroeni shrugs off a challenge. Gets it back from Cummings in open space. Now first time ball for Casey in the center channel. He leaves it behind, catches up with it again, steers it to the outside. A little too fancy that time, and Osei wins it back. Tierney battling. Wrestling to the ground by Mullen, and fair play says the referee. Colorado has it again. Smith taking up a central position. Wallace into the attack. Plenty of time to put in a ball, and completely whiffs on it. You don't see that very much at this level, especially when you've got that much time and space, Jeff.
Wow, that was a clear miss ball. Haven't seen that in a long time.
I remember you guys had a trialist once, like a 16-year-old kid who was so nervous he kicked a cone. The last time I think I saw that. Reminder right after the game to log on to revolutionsoccer.net for Revs Wrap, our online post-game show. Get your emails in now. It's RevsTV at revolutionsoccer.net.
No, that was actually Dickie Phillips.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Ricardo Phillips?
Ricardo Phillips.
Well, I know he always puzzled over some of Paul Mariner's passing drills. But you know what? I looked up Ricardo Phillips, and he continues to play in the Panama League. He's one of the all-time greats for the Panama national team. And he's in, I think he's 36 years old, and he just keeps getting contracts down there. He's a homebody. He likes it down in Central America.
No, he sure does, and he played against him last year in the Gold Cup. He's still an excellent player for that national team.
I don't think the weather agreed with him when you come from Panama. Things are good in Panama these days. Away by Tierney. Stolica giving chase. Drew Moore first to it. Osei controls. Phelan gives it back to him. That's what the Revs want to see from Emmanuel Osei. A possession pass wide for Nyasi. One-on-one with Smith. Now Phelan. Osei as Alston moves into the attack. Space for Joseph to advance. He'll have a shot and drive it over 5 rows of stands behind the goal. Not Shawry's best effort, but it's a shot he has to take, Jay.
Absolutely. Colorado Rapids were dropping off. Shawry Joseph saw the space, takes 1 or 2 touches, no one closes him down, leans back a little bit too much and sends it over the goal.
Joseph still looking for his first goal of the season. He leads the Revs with 5 assists. He led the Revs in goal scoring last year along with Kelly Dubé. Again, every time I mention that stat, he played 10 games, really more, at center forward. So it's been a different kind of season. He also had that extended leave of absence this year for personal reasons. But the Revs haven't scored goals the way they have in past years this year. And they'll take it from anywhere right now. It's Colorado attacking. Cummings driving it onto the wrong side of the near post. Quick feet, though, from the Jamaican.
I was going against Kevin Olsen there, and he's showing how quick he is, because Kevin Olsen's not a guy that many people can get behind. But there you saw Cummings using some speed, using some footwork, able to get a shot near the goal. But in the end, Matt Reese had it covered.
Former Rev Wells Thompson is warming up on the sideline for the Rapids now. Not necessarily good for Wells that Brian Mullins has been brought in, at least in the short term. Wells has gotten runs where he started 4 or 5 games in a row for Colorado. He did very well against the Revs in the Rapids 2-1 win at Gillette Stadium on April 24th. Wide for Kimura. Mullen. Can't get around Sinovic. Plays it back to Mastroeni. Dropping it in for Mullen, but a little too much air under it. Nice complex here in Commerce City, Colorado. It maybe hasn't attracted the huge huge crowds they'd hope, but they've got a youth soccer complex around here, and it is a nice-looking crowd here tonight, and a perfect night.
Sure is. It is a nice atmosphere playing in games like this in Colorado, building some good tradition here. They have always had it, but now at this park, they're starting to win a little bit more, and that's what fans like to see. They like to see teams make runs into the playoffs, and that's what the Colorado Rapids hope to do this season.
They did make the final 97, all the way back in 97, as Cummings runs to the defense, plays. Larentowicz offside. Flag was up. You look at their gallery of honor, some great names here in Colorado. Marcelo Balboa, Paul Bravo, we talked about. Chris Henderson and John Spencer. As you take a look at the offside, they're clearly offside. Jeffers getting ahead of himself.
Right, that was just one too many touches from Omar Cummings. Jeff Larentowicz couldn't hold the run. He was offside.
Here come the Revs. Nyasi, first time cross. Off the post and over for a goal kick. He needs to get his hips around on it, but at least the Revs are finding some space to attack, Jay.
Right, and it's a good breakout. That came down from the other end, the offside. They came down here, one or two passes, and Nyasi was on the end of it. Like you said, hips are everything. When you're trying to get that ball into the box, he has to whip his hips around so that he can angle the ball back across the goal mouth, not near the goal.
The Revs have some players warming up as well, including Jason Griffiths, who's missed a lot of time through injury. Only 5 appearances for the rookie out of Kentucky, but he did make the trip. He's shown some promise in his first season in the league. They say pass from Sinovic. Now there's a whole new great reason to choose McDonald's. Come in for the 3rd pounder burger in 3 flavorful varieties: Angus bacon and cheese, Angus mushroom and Swiss, and Angus deluxe. Try it for only $3.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Cummings couldn't keep it in play. We're in the 56th minute. The Revs have trailed by 2 since the 35th minute. They need to get back into this game soon with a goal. Osei for Alston. Phelan. Nyasi. Wallace couldn't peel it off of him. Nyasi with nowhere to go, though. He plays Pat Phelan again. Through for Sinovic, touches it back to Gibbs. Again, the Revs patient, but they're looking for a way through. Now, Perovich in the center channel will have a go from distance. A bouncer gives a big rebound, does Pickens. It's out to Joseph. Now Tierney delivers the cross. Cut out by Wynn. Pressure from Tierney. Mullen did great to keep his balance there, but that's the best sequence in the Revs attack so far this game. Osei slides in, but he can't get it off of Smith. Full-scale break on here. Jamie Smith with 2 runners. Tried to leave it short for Connor Casey, but the Revs got enough guys back to win it and clear. And as far as Larentowicz.
Corey Gibbs did a nice job stopping that because Connor Casey was wide open if Corey Gibbs doesn't get his foot on that.
Here's Mullen. Centering past Casey. His shot. It's good. They're closing down again by Corey Gibbs. Marco Perovich's shot forced a good save from Matt Pickens on this play.
Well, look at this ball move. It drops down. Matt Pickens makes the save. Revolution couldn't get there. Look at this range there. A good shot. Kevin Alston did the right thing, followed that up, just couldn't get on the end of it. But Marco Perovich trying to extend this game, get a shot from distance. Maybe the Revolution get back in it from an effort like that.
And that was the Revs' first shot on frame in this match now. Nearly 57 minutes before they got it. But signs that the Revs are starting to string some stuff together and create opportunities.
Well, Marvell Wynn made a tremendous play on that ball in from Chris Tierney, because if he doesn't get his foot on that, there are 2-3 Revolution players behind him.
Kimura's clearance. Ooh, somehow bounced through Cummings. We're hearing that Kenny Mansali is going to be coming on, likely for Chris Tierney. Mansali, as we talked about in the first half, Jay, injected a shot of energy into the Revs attack. And Jason Griffiths is going to get on for Pat Phelan. So, injection of youth. Well, to be fair, Tierney and Phelan are still young players. Here's Perovich trying to wade it into space for Tierney. Tierney wasn't making the run, but that was always going over the end line anyway.
Well, you see a miscommunication there. Tierney stayed wide. He made him run forward and checked his run to get it back on his feet. That's where he feels comfortable, when he can take a touch and whip it in the box. Perovic was expecting the run behind, and it wasn't there. So when that happens, got to get on the same page. Perovic, Tierney, a little bit better communication.
Again, Matt Pickens not taking the goal kicks. This time it's going to be Anthony Wallace. He has a groin injury, we're told, by Colorado Rapids Communications Department, but well enough to stay in and play. And here's the substitution. You can see the head drop slightly from Pat Phelan. You never want to see your number go up, especially like for like with another holding midfielder like Griffiths coming on. Tough night at the office for Pat Phelan, taking that knock to the head.
Well, he did everything he could tonight, Brad. He fought hard, he challenged, did well, but now Jason Griffiths comes in and has to add a spark. That's what Steve Nichols is looking for, a spark from anyone, anywhere, to make something happen when you're down 2-0.
Well, we talked about it a few weeks ago. He's closing down, meaning Jason Griffiths, in his limited action. His numbers in terms of winning the ball and making good passes are pretty good. It's not a complete body of work yet. We'll see what he can do here. And also Kenny Mansali out there. The Revs gave it away. Well, they're going to get a bailout here as Nyasi went down. The ball really in Drew Moore's possession, but
yeah, but you know
that'll work.
Well, that was just actually not a very smart play from Anthony Wallace. Nyasi was over him, and Anthony Wallace just kind of stuck his leg out to draw the foul or commit the foul. Nyasi draws the foul. Not a smart play from a young defender. He's had a couple mental mistakes tonight, but overall good game from Wallace.
Perovic's ball, and it's a good-looking one for Joseph, but Moore was there to rise above the pack and get it wide. Substitution coming on now for the Rapids as Makumba Kanji will get his first action in the Colorado Rapids uniform after the trade with the New York Red Bulls that sent Mehdi Bellucci the other way. 1 goal in 13 games so far for Kanji, as he'll replace Mullen. You can hear he has family and friends on hand. He's gotten some of the biggest cheers of the night, Mullen.
Well, he was the one who set the tone for this match early. He was very excited to get up and down the flank. First half, nice night for a debut from Brian Mullen in front of this Colorado crowd.
Kanji, the lanky Senegalese forward. And Gary Smith, the head coach for the Rapids, has talked about an attacking trident with Cummings, Casey, and Kanji. Ball in. Oh, Stolica couldn't keep it in. Good effort there by Sinovic. Well, Kanji's shown flashes that he can be a big-time player. 6 goals and 41 prior MLS appearances.
But what this does here is Kanji goes up higher, Omar Cummings goes out wide right, and that's exactly right. Gary Smith has right. It is a triumphant attack there. You got 3 players that can attack from everywhere, and it's going to be difficult to defend. The trident attack, is that what he called it, Brad?
A trident, an attacking trident, a triumvirate, a trio, however you like it. Oh, that was almost a perfect ball for Perovic. And Wynn wins the header. Helped on by Laurentowicz, taken down by Joseph for the Revs. Wide again for Sani Nyasi. 2 defensive players there. So it's back to Alston and Joseph again. One-touch passing from New England. Trying to open up this Colorado defense, trailing by 2 goals. Joseph shrugs off the challenge of Mastroeni. Nyasi a heavy touch. It'll be a Revolution throw. And you'll always find American Airlines lowest fares at AA.com, guaranteed. American Airlines knows why you fly. And that is true, Jay. I actually just got a low fare on AA.com when I went to one of those clearinghouses. I actually got a lower, I got a lower fare on AA.com. They're not paying me extra to say that. It's true, though. Gibbs for Joseph. It ricochets off of Shawry. Slides to try to keep possession for the Revs. He cleaned out Marvell Wynn. Play continues, and it's cleared by Wallace. Jay, we talked about the Revs trying to stay compact when we looked at your keys. Was that blown apart when they gave up the early goal in minute 5?
No question. They were stretched defensively. The 2 center backs got too far apart, and that led to the second goal. Possession has been okay. It's better in the second half, but not good enough to start the game. And the set pieces haven't really been there. Marko Perovic hasn't had a real opportunity to change this game.
Perovic now wide to Mansali, who will just get there. His cross gets through. Nyasi lets it drop, controls, drives it, beaten away by Pickens. Ball attacked by Nyasi, in the end taken down by the Colorado goalkeeper. Again, the Revs slowly starting to create some attack. See, Nyasi took a slight knock on that sequence, but Mansali deceptive speed, and it was a decent ball in when it looked like that was going to go out.
No, sure. Mansali puts us across here. Nyasi comes into the screen at the top here, and he takes this down well and fires this on goal. Matt Pickens makes a good save. That's a good play from Mansali to at least get it in the box. That's more of what Steve Nicol wants from his outside players. Get it wide, get it in the box, maybe something can happen. And that one fell to Nyasi. He almost had something there.
The Revolution coaching staff again up in arms over a call on the field. Good hold-up work by Connor Casey.
Very good skill.
Cummings back to Kimura. Tries to trick his way through. Runs into Mansali. He stabs it back to Osei. Angles it forward. Perovic is onside, but not enough power on it. Moore cut that pass out, and Colorado has it again. Minute 65, 2-0 Rapids. Loose ball. Who will be there first? Sinovic goes in hard. Kanji, though, with the long touch into space. Cummings runs onto it. Low cross. Oh, what a save by Reese. Nearly 3-0. Connor Casey. Well, he had Matt Reese dead to rights. That's the best save we've seen from Reese in a couple weeks, and that was a highlight reel caliber save from the Reds goalkeeper. Look at this.
Well, here's Omar Cummings coming into the play here. He takes one touch, and he hits a low hard ball. Look at the open up the hips, but Matt Reese, that ball is behind Matt Reese. He sticks his paw out, makes the save. That's Matt Reese at his best, able to be so athletic and keep that ball out of his net.
Corner kick knocked down by Cummings. Racing forward is Laurentowicz. He pops it wide. Intelligent play by Laurentowicz. Kanji can't get around Mansali. Kanji 6 feet 4 inches tall, as you see Matt Reese. And the reflexes are still there from the looks of that save, Jay.
Wow, that was really impressive from Matt Reese. We've seen him get better and better each game. Hasn't been able to make too many saves because the goals that are getting scored on him are almost players one-on-one with him. Not much you can do as a keeper, but when he makes his saves, Revolution are always in it.
Now have another look, Jay. This is big-time stuff from the man who's been the #1 netminder for the Revs since 2004.
Well, it's really to play the speed of play. Really, that's what makes it so impressive to save, because it was so quick to the goal, and Matt Reese just Superman across there, gets his right arm on it. That was the one he had surgery on, and it looks good so far.
And a great ball, Joseph for Perovic. He's in, one touch. Oh, the flag's up. Is that offside? Wow, you know, that was triggered out of the back, but great ball by Reese for Joseph. And now back the other way, Smith trying to capitalize.
Well, that was a good breakout from the Revs. Did not look like he was offside from here from live play. The linesman made the call, but the Revolution could stay in this. If they keep doing things like that, there's Colorado back four are showing some signs of weakness there, where there's some penetrating runs from Marco Perovic of getting behind them. That's good so far.
Yep, there have been some danger signs.
Look at this. Omar Cummings showing another burst of speed here.
Still going, and then Sinovic gets shaken up as he commits the foul, and he's going to be booked as well.
Now you see Matt Geiger going over to have a word with him. Gives him the yellow. That still extends back to the first half when Omar Cummings got behind Seth. Seth pulled him. That was the second foul. That was his only second foul of the game. And not a bad yellow card from Seth Sinovic. As a young player, you got Omar Cummings going at you, going by you. I don't mind that foul if I'm a coach or if I'm a defender with him, because it stops the play. Not in a too dangerous of a spot. It looks like Jeff Laurentowicz will be over it. But as a young player, a rookie, not a bad yellow card to take there.
Laurentowicz and Smith over the ball again. Four-man wall this time. This is about 27, 28 yards in the right center channel.
This will be Laurentowicz.
Right-footed blast just over the bar.
Well, Jeff hits that ball so pure. That's why with like distance 27, 28 yards, when Laurentowicz over it, he's trying to hit that ball with so much pace, trying to put no spin on it to see if it drops or moves and puts the keeper under pressure. That one just sailed over for him.
Stolica with the flick on, and Mansali will put pressure on Kimura. And get a word from the referee for a little bit of a late hit there.
You see here, this is a good position where the Revolution have to get up higher. Matt Pickens is not taking the goal kicks. Revolution keep dropping back. If I'm Stolica, I want to be a little bit higher. I want to be near the box here. So when the ball comes back in, you can't just have Wallace run past him. So Stolica can pressure us up a little bit higher. First of all, Wallace has already shown he's not great on the ball. So maybe he has a slip, maybe he has something. But they have to be anticipating a mistake here, get a little bit higher up the field, make Wallace run all the way out if he's going to come out of the back.
Final score update for you. Toronto FC comes back. The coaching change must have given him a bump. Dwayne De Rosario, the 90th minute game winner for TFC.
Well, that's devastating for Houston. At home, giving up a 1-goal lead to lose that game.
And one of your former stars to boot.
Yep. Brian Mullen had a great night tonight.
And one of the players that Preki kicked on his way out of the door to boot. Kanji, the step over, can't get past Gibbs. Still in play. Over for a throw-in. Kimura now. And Solly closed down well. Hooked away by Sinovic. Stolica goes up, wins the header. Second one, just gets it down, but too many maroon shirts there. No call. Cummings is down injured. Rez wanted a handball call. And Geiger's going to ask Cummings, I believe, to leave the field of play to get medical attention. Wells Thompson, who was with the Revs from 2007 through 2009, will replace Omar Cummings, who gets a deserved round of applause. Goal and assists for Omar Cummings. Thompson on. Feisty wing midfielder.
Omar Cummings getting the congratulations from his players on the bench. Every one of those deserve it because he played a heck of a match tonight, Brad. All over the place. Was at up top, outside right. Sensational night from Omar Cummings.
Wells Thompson making his 21st regular season appearance. Also played in both U.S. Open Cup games for Colorado. Good touch by Casey, almost sprung Kanji. Alston clears it. Perovic playing back to goal, controls, tries to split two players and cannot do so. He had passing options available. If there's a knock on Perovic, it's sometimes because he's the skillful guy out there in the attack, he tries to go it alone when he has support.
Tries to do too much, and that's out of frustration when he sees the game almost getting out of hand here. He wants to make himself be the guy that does everything. And the only problem is that guys can read that. Colorado players sense that, start double teaming and triple teaming and putting themselves in position to take the ball away, and that's what they did there. He took one too many touches. Walsh was able to win it from him.
The Revs have another road game, and then they return home on September the 25th when they take on the Columbus Crew at 7:30 p.m. at Gillette Stadium. Tickets start at just $22. Call 1-877-GET-REVS or log on to revolutionsoccer.net for ticket information. And Solly back to Perovic. Win all over him. Perovic, slick touches. Oh, nutmeg on Win. And then he gets taken down. Wow. No call. Steve Nicol is almost out of the technical area. Just fuming. There's no call there.
Well, rightfully so. Matt Geiger has to have a word with himself there.
Do refs ever have a word with themselves?
No, they need to. That's an absolute moment where a referee has to say, you know what?
Similar to the Sinovic tackle at the other end.
Right, well, that's just you're taking away the skill of an excellent player. Marco Perovic does everything right there. Nutmegs a player, gets behind him in the offensive third, gets taken down. Terrible refereeing there, Brad. I'm going to say right now, Matt Geiger has to be better there. You have to sense the game. You have to know when a player is being taken down after a skillful nutmeg.
Kanji to the outside. Look at the speed. Drives it right on the keeper, and it's covered by Reese. Look at the skill for Marco Perovic. Deserves to be rewarded with a free kick here. Jay, look at this.
Look at the skill here. He's down. Arms out, and leg. Foul for me. I mean, he gets the ball, but his body's in a position. Marco Perovic has beaten him to that space.
And Solly trying to get around Kimura, cannot. Heady play by the fourth-year man. Perovic and Solly. Stolica are going to try to keep Colorado in. The Revs running out of time, but there's still time. They're down 2-0 here, minute 74. playoff aspirations hang by a thread. Joseph digs it out, but the second ball falls for Laurentowicz. He moves it for Wallace. Long left footer for Kanji again. Look at those strides from Matt Kanji. Controls one-on-one with Sinovic. Not a good speed matchup. It's a nice move, and he slips just before he crosses. They turned the sprinklers on at halftime. Could it still be wet out there?
A little bit, but that's when you see Matt Kanji just so quick, but when he gets by him, he just doesn't prepare himself, gets his body going a little too much and slips. Sesanovic there is kind of at a disadvantage because he let Kanji come at him. If Kanji's going to come at you, Sesanovic's got to meet him there. You can't keep dropping, because if you drop off, you're giving him all the power there, and he's able to beat Sesanovic with a one touch. Sesanovic's got to get out to him, meet him at the ball. Don't give him any space.
Another substitution now by Colorado, their third and final sub. It'll be Quincy Amarikwa, second-year pro out of UC Davis, acquired from the San Jose Earthquakes at the beginning of the season in April, replacing Connor Casey. Casey, like Cummings, with a strong showing, Jay.
The offensive pair tonight were tremendous. Really gave a lot of difficult options for the Revolution. They just kept getting in behind the back four. Nothing anyone could do could stop those two. Two excellent games from their forwards, and that was just that's been the defining moment so far, is how well the two forwards for Colorado have played.
Another dead ball opportunity for the Reds to try to pull one back. Perovich with the delivery right into the mixer. Oh, beaten away by Pickens as Stolica was bearing down on him. Griffith's battling. Amarikwa's there, but Nyasi wins it. He drives it off of Mastroeni. Now Wells Thompson. Good ball in the space for Wallace. Sinovic over to the right side of the defense. Cut back for Wells Thompson, the former Wake Forest Demon Deacon. He lost to his old friend, Sandy Nyasi. Wells used to drive all the African players for the refs to practice when he was still a New England player. Griffiths for Stolica. Let it run. In behind Moore. Pickens will get there and clear. Revs getting ready to bring on Kelly Dubé. It's their final throw of the dice. Osei floats it for Perovich. Kimura with the right play, heads it wide. The Revs will get the sub on here. It's going to be Sinovic coming off. So three at the back now, Jay.
That's what they'll do. They'll go to three here. Try to add another player into the midfield. Get another offensive player on in Kelly Dubé. Good night for Sesanovic. Not much he could do. Had his hands full on the wide when Omar came in and when Kanji went at him. But other than that, played excellent out of the back. Good balls into the forwards.
Great turn by Perovich, who drives it. Off a win. Pickens keeps it in. That was a slick play. The little nutmeg on Mastroeni. That shouldn't go unnoticed. That's 2 megs in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's the skill from Marco Perovich.
But no goals. The Revs need goals, and they're not to make light of the situation. If you're watching back in New England, and again, the Revs are not mathematically out of it if they lose here, but they're getting close to that. They play again Wednesday night against an FC Dallas team that's been very, very tough this season. They're 7-1-4 at home, FC Dallas. Griffiths finds Dubé. Perovich keeps possession. On the dribble, now slides it from Mansali into the box. He drives it far post just wide. Good passing and dribbling in the approach play from New England, and Mansali with a close bid there.
Well, there it was. That's Marco Perovich again, feeding Kenny Mansali. Mansali takes a nice touch. Good weight on that touch because he's able to get a shot. Just puts it wide of the net. But good build-up play there from the Revolution. That was Marco Perovich. Almost got his, it was called 2.5 megs. He was able to cut back on a Colorado player and then spring Mansali. Still very good. Revolution have 13, 14 minutes with stoppage time to stay in this game. You get a goal, everything changes here.
Loose touch there by Perovich. Mansali has 3 goals on the season. MLS play, that's 3rd on the team. This is Amarikwa. Moved to the outside, blocked by Alston, who defended well. Now Laurentowicz goes in hard, blocked by Griffiths. Mastroeni playing in his 180th game in a Rapids uniform. As Kimura delivers. Oh, indecisive by Reese. He came for it, and Amarikwa put it wide on the header. Matt thought about it, then put on the brakes.
Oh, he was going to get caught in no man's land there, but that's just too easy from the back three. There's no one there, and those three, no one communicates, and he's all wide, all by himself. He misses the header, but Matt Reis stuck in no man's land, but he's got to have better defending in front of him, so there's no free headers there.
Towering header again by Moore. Good win by Mastroeni for the Rapids there. Ilya Stolitz is clutching his head. He doesn't look very happy. Marikwa wins it, turns. Oh, cut it beautifully for Kanji, who just wasn't anticipating. He had the speed to get there. Kanji, smooth moves. Still going, keeps possession, lays it short. Smith takes a touch to the inside, cuts it. Right now, Colorado's toying with the Revs' backs. Across for Marikwa. Look at that centering pass on the overhead. Thompson takes a body check from his former teammate. Oh, then a stinger from Laurentowicz having a bid. Right now they're taking the mickey, the Rapids. Good save by Reis, but the Revs, who were looking like they were getting in control, were chasing the game there.
Well, that was all Colorado Rapids. But look at this layoff. Nice ball by Wells Thompson, and Jeff Laurentowicz hits a pill. Matt Reis has to do everything he can athletically to punch that away, but Colorado really having their way. They're just playing that much better when they get around the box. Right? That's really been the difference. When you get in the final third, what do you do with it? Colorado's been excellent all night.
This is Wallace. Smith. His delivery finds Laurentowicz. Jeff just couldn't get the clean touch he wanted, but it's enough to keep the Rapids going. Shot for handball, not called. And then Solly, now Griffiths. 81st minute, Stolica lays it off. A couple fouls in that sequence. First one called. Stolica will move forward.
Stolica just looks slow to me tonight. He doesn't seem to have that pace. He's holding some balls up. He's getting himself caught in a little bit of the battle, but he just doesn't seem to be like he's done. He doesn't have to seem that pace where he's going to like check to the ball. He's never had the pace, but at the same time, he seems a little bit lethargic again. It's like 2 nights in a row, in Chivas and then again tonight.
Yeah, well, we saw an article by Jeff Lemieux about how the travels affected the Serbs. It's on the Revs website. Thompson getting to the byline. I think he wanted to cross there. It ended up being a shot on goal, but it produces the 8th corner kick of the match for the homestanding Colorado Rapids. But if you're playing this league, Jay, listen, it's tiring for everybody. The announcers, the players, they have to run for 90 minutes. I get it. It takes it out of you. It's not a bus league. It's an airplane league. And the Reds are going to fly to Dallas after this, and you got to recover in 4 days.
Well, you got to take care of yourself, first of all. You got to make sure that you're mentally prepared for that travel. You have to be mentally ahead of yourself, have to be thinking you can get through it. And that seems to be a problem enough for the Revs. When you have 2 players talking about the travel, they got to get behind that and move on from it.
Kanji. Now Laurentowicz. Long-range drive, skips on frame, saved by Reis. So had to make a few important saves now. Offside flag is up.
Now look at Jeff Laurentowicz. He wants a goal against his former team. Look at this blast here. This is just a low hard. It takes a deflection. Another unbelievable save from Matt Reis. He is keeping the Revolution in this game. You see this save. That takes a deflection. When you're a goalkeeper, it's coming at you so hot. There's not much you can do. And Matt Reis, again, up to the challenge, stops his buddy, Jeff Laurentowicz. 2 of them used to room together for the Revolution. So right now, Matt Reis has his number.
Kanji through for Thompson. He'd love to score against the Revs. Takes a touch, frees himself, shoots and scores! Wells Thompson makes it 3-0. Takes off his shirt to celebrate a goal against his former team. And that puts the icing on the cake for the Rapids for sure.
Wow, that's a dagger from Wells Thompson against his former club. Look at this, though. Composure from Wells Thompson. Not enough defensive pressure on that. Wells Thompson creates a little bit of space. And look, he frees up, goes against here. No pressure, 3 defenders there. Someone's got to step to the ball, and he's able to slot it back post against Matt Reis. Wells Thompson so excited to score against his former club. Takes the shirt off here. John 3:13, a little bit of the Bible verse. But that's Wells Thompson in a nutshell, always with a smile on his face, getting the goal against his former club.
Yeah, sweet revenge, his first goal in a Rapids uniform in MLS play. Well, people kid around with Wells Thompson because he is so indefatigably positive. Even when he's in a physical battle out there, he's smiling, but he's also a tough competitor, and full credit to him. Well taken goal. Here's Mansali now. He shoots. Easy grab in the end for Pickens. And it's another tough score line. The Reds have now been outscored 27-7 on the road in 12 games.
Just not good enough. Not good enough to start this game. Emmanuel Osei really put his team behind the 8 ball. Just started so slow. Made 2 mistakes that cost his team 2 goals. Can't do that when you're on the road, especially when you need points, especially when you need wins. Not good enough.
Three 0. Cummings, Casey, and Thompson the goal scorers. There's Amarikwa trying to find Wells. Wells, the other part of that trade, sent Jeff Larentowicz here to Colorado. And the Revs also got a 3rd-round draft choice and allocation money. So even though Preston Burpo suffered that horrific leg injury, you can't say the Revs made out badly in the trade, but Thompson Larentowicz has got a lot of time for the Rapids, and Gary Smith and Paul Bravo have not sat still. It's a nice play of the game, brought to you as always by Lumber Liquidators Hardwood Flooring for less. Connor Casey was on the end of a really great build-up play for his 10th goal this season.
It was an excellent play from Connor Casey and the entire Colorado offense. Because they're building together, Connor Casey checks it, lays it off, gets behind, and gets his 10th goal. That's why it's a play of the game, because that's a team effort.
There's a collision while we were showing you that in midfield. Mansali shaken up now. Came on in the 62nd minute last week. Again, he runs and creates chances. Like Nyasi, I think the Reds would like to see a little more goal production as we get a look at that collision.
That was...
Yeah, Wells and Kenny, best of friends off the field, but...
Well, that was actually Kenny Mansali going for the win, and Wells Thompson looked like he was in the right position there, and Kenny Mansali just kind of lost his breath, kind of hit ribs on Wells Thompson.
You're saying Kenny did himself in there?
Yeah, well, surely, yeah. But, yeah, exactly what I'm saying. He came in on that play, and you see he's not frustrated. Wells Thompson here talking right now. You can see them having a conversation together. Good friends off the field, like you mentioned, Brad.
Giveaway by the Rapids. The Reds just looking for a consolation goal here. Stolica not even looking forward, goes back to Dubé. Griffiths. Stolica battling, but again, Drew Moore too quick to it. Here's Amarikwa. Mansali somehow keeps possession. Slides it for Dubé, the Zimbabwean. Square for Perovic. Zigging and zagging. What a mazy run here by Marco Perovic. Still going. Look at this dribble run. Finally runs into Kimura, but here's Dubé. Closed down, gets it back. Stolica on the turn, drives it. It falls for Nyasi. Long touch. Can he get a shot? He cuts it. Left-footed drive off target. The Reds not giving up there. In the end, though, you have to have a chance on the frame of goal to score one.
Well, look at this. This is Nyasi getting it on the wide right. Gets to this with speed, uses some skill here, but has to put that on frame. It doesn't miss by much, but that has been the difference tonight, Brad. I went to it earlier, and I'll go to it again, the final third. Colorado's been excellent when they get into their final third. Near the box, clinical. Revolution, just not good enough, just not sharp enough.
The Reds brought in Perovic and Stolica, who, like we said, have produced over 40% of their attacking output on the season, but without making too many excuses, Jay, they've had a big portion of their salary cap on the sideline for most of the season. Edgaras Jankauskas hasn't played more than half of a game. He appeared in just 4. He's slowly getting back to fitness, listed as questionable, but he didn't even make the road trip. And Taylor Twellman on the season-ending injury list, the all-time leading scorer, and you know, it shows the output's dropped.
Well, it's definitely difficult when you're dealing with that. Taylor Twellman always was thinking about coming back. It's very difficult to see, though, Jankauskas just stay out as long as he stayed out. You'd like to see him start to get back into this and help the Revolution.
He did train this week, but he was not fit enough, according to Steve Nicol, to be part of the traveling party. So Now, again, you know, and we've seen, you know, Stolica, when he was fresh, was doing some stuff, but, you know, these long road trips don't seem to agree with him so far.
No, absolutely not. He's so much better when the Revolution are near him. When he's at the when he's in front of that box, holding the ball up, and players can get there and support him, that's when he scores his goals, because there's a little bit of space, because players are getting forward and then he drops off them. But right now, he just doesn't seem to do that. These two games where he's been exposed, he can't do much because there's not much around him.
Well, get your emails in now for Revs Rep. RevsTV at revolutionsoccer.net. You can watch it live, watch the archive. And if you get the emails in early enough, even if they're complaints, or take the tough questions, please get them in now. Mariquard is trying to kill time here. The 90th minute. They're going to add 3 minutes on. So Revs will probably see as the fair thing to do. Stranger things have happened, Jay, but they're down 3-0. Now would be a good time for a counterattack to get the first goal. This is Conti, who got an assist on the Wells Thompson goal. 83rd minute. Heavy tackle there by Griffith. Conti didn't like it. Steve Nicol doesn't like it. It's going to be a foul against the Revs. Hacking away at the ankles there in the corner. Dubé coming in on Mariquard. And all this does is bring us closer to full time. So we're in the first minute of stoppage time here in Commerce City, Colorado. This is the longest road trip of the year in terms of days. The Revs had that Chicago, Kansas City trip. That was Wednesday, Saturday. This is Saturday, Wednesday. The Revs will have time to get their legs underneath them. And Dallas will be missing some guys. Greg Shea will be serving a suspension. Ooh, heavy tackle there. Kanji and Shari Joseph having a word. We saw Kevin Hartman injured on that sort of needless play by Thierry Henry, and questionable whether Daniel Hernandez will be available for that game. So the Revs need to look at that as another must-win. Again, they are not eliminated from the playoffs mathematically, but this was another one of these games they had to get something out of it. They're not going to tonight. It's getting touchy-feely out there, but it's all posing at this point.
Well, it's posing, but if I'm Colorado and I'm Gary Smith, I don't want my players playing in the corner. At 1-0, 2-0, you want to do that. But at 3-0, might as well just play, because all he's doing is putting his players in a position to get injured. Shari Joseph, Kelly Dubé over there earlier. They don't want to see guys take the ball in the corner and waste time. You're going to get kicked that way. So if I'm Gary Smith, I'm pulling that play out, and I'm going to start just playing. End this game by trying to pass, not try to put it in the corner.
Dubé surrounded. Revs wanted a foul. At this point, it's pretty much academic. Inside out ball by Mastroeni. Mariquard run over by Corey Gibbs. 1 minute to go here in Colorado. Again, the Revs are going to extend that dubious mark now to 0-6-3 in road games here in the Denver area, going back to 2002. Colorado's only loss here at DSG Park this year is to the Western Conference leaders, the LA Galaxy. Interesting to see how the Western Conference shakes out with LA and RSL neck and neck. Here's Dubé.
Really like RSL's team. Garth Lagerway, Jason Price have really built a good, solid foundation and added great players. So the Western Conference, that battle is going to be fun to watch. LA's LA. They've got Beckham. They've got Landon Donovan, Buttle. But what I like how Salt Lake built their team.
And there's the whistle for full time. The Revs fall 3-0. Stick around. We'll be back to wrap things up from DSG Park right after this. You're watching New England Revolution Soccer on